Welcome to the VideoMyJob pod, where we feature industry experts, on-the-tool practitioners, and VideoMyJob customers to help you activate your employer brand strategy and EVP. Hey, it's Megs here with the latest episode of the VMJPod. Today I'm speaking with Poncho, a senior consultant in the employer branding team at Deloitte Australia. In our chat, Poncho discusses how Deloitte is revolutionizing their graduate recruitment marketing strategy using employee story videos. He also shares details on how his team implemented VideoMyJob to efficiently gather 102 authentic employee stories from graduates across Australia in just 4 days. And also how they plan to use this video content to boost engagement on graduate job sites. So if you're keen to learn how to elevate your recruitment marketing strategy with employee story videos, then this episode is for you. So Poncho, thank you so much for joining me on the VideoMyJob pod today. I know you and your team at Deloitte have been working really hard to revolutionize your recruitment marketing strategy for your grad program. So I'm really excited to not only hear about your VideoMyJob journey, but also to share it with our listeners today. So thank you. And firstly, I'll get you to introduce yourself to our listeners. So just if you could tell us a little bit about your role and your team.
Yeah, cool. Hey, Meg, thank you very much for having me. A little bit about me. Well, my name is Poncho. I work at Deloitte. I am a senior consultant in the employee branding team. And the way that my team works is like there's 6 of us, a manager and people who focus on different areas like website and analytics, like social and comms and eminence and external comms and awards. So that's how our team works.
Wow. And what motivated you to seek out a solution like VideoMyJob, Poncho?
Look, we do a lot of content, a lot of content. As you can imagine, like we are one of the main, like we employ over 3,000 graduates a year. So you can imagine that the stuff that we need to get out is pretty intense. And we work really closely with Grad Connection. So when they told us about a pilot with you guys and my manager has worked with you in the past, he was like, yeah, you should definitely take it. And we were like, cool, let's do it. And we went all in. That's why.
I love that. And what was the status quo? Like, what were you guys doing prior to getting VideoMyJob on board?
Well, we used to do everything ourselves. So I think one of the benefits of working in a company like Deloitte is that we have a lot of resources, right? So we have a team that does video and we have people who can edit and all of those things, but they service the entire firm, right? So you can imagine that sometimes getting stuff done takes a little bit of time, depending on how busy they are. But like the post-production side of things can take a very long time. Also, like there's only one of me and I'm based in Melbourne. So if I have to like interview graduates in different parts of the country and all that stuff, then I rely on all the parts of the business to help me with that. And sometimes it doesn't happen as nicely as you would like it to happen. You know, like, I mean, I'm just asking someone to do me a favor and then they don't understand the aesthetic that I'm going for sometimes. So sometimes it would take a little bit longer to get something done.
Yeah, look, I completely understand. And I myself am in a marketing role and I do get it. Like it's, you know, some teams kind of get to pop to the wayside while we have to focus and prioritize. So I completely understand. Now, Poncho, what was your, because I know your implementation approach has been quite unique. Can you share the process you and your team followed getting employee stories for this project?
Yeah, when you say the word unique, it's absolutely, I've never worked in this way before. We had, like, because of the pilot and everything, we had to turn everything around really fast. And, you know, like it's one thing when you have to develop one video, but then when you have like 30 graduates across the country, it was pretty interesting because I think the way that VideoMyJob has streamlined the questions and everything, it was very, very easy for us. So like it took us only 4 days to turn it around. 4 days to get like 100 and something videos. It was pretty cool because the way that it happened is we chose the graduates that we wanted to talk to and like in all these different areas of the country, like Sydney, Perth, Brisbane, Adelaide, like we have grads everywhere. We briefed them. In that briefing process, we showed them how to use the tool. And yeah, in like 3 days, all the videos were done. And I just had to sit down, and get the popcorn out and just watch them and just vet them.
I love this. I love this. And, just back to our conversation we were having previously, relying on internal teams to kind of help you out. Like, I can imagine just having something, a tool of your own that you can use is really empowering, particularly when you are servicing different parts. You're servicing different parts of Australia, and you're not able to always be in those different parts all the time. So I really do journey. And Poncho, can I just say, you have done an incredible job getting 102, by the way, because I've checked, 102 employee stories in 4 days. How long do you think that would have taken you if you did not have a platform like VideoMyJob? Because as you were saying before, you guys were relying on other teams to help you out, but now you've actually got a tool that you and your team can use, that's empowering you to create content for yourself. So yeah, if you could talk us through how long that would have taken you if you didn't have us.
I mean, I think it would be very hard to tell you like how much it would take, but definitely more than a month. Like if you're thinking about like planning, storyboarding, recording, post-production, to get some of these things, absolutely over a month, maybe even 2, because there's like, as you said, like 102 videos. It takes a really long time. Like I do some of the editing myself, and after 5 videos a week, I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm done. Because like it's enjoyable, but after like doing the same thing over and over, you're like, okay, just give me a break. So yeah, it would have taken so much longer. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, thank you for sharing that, because I'm sure that many people listening on the call would appreciate that, or would be in the similar position as you were before VideoMyJob, where you were trying to create that on your own, or waiting for other teams within your business to help you out with that. But just coming back, so look, getting 102 videos from graduates is an incredible result, as we said. And for EB teams listening and thinking, okay, that's great, because you did mention before about editing. So they're probably thinking, that's great, but what about the editing involved? Can you talk us through, because I know that you've been using our latest auto AI editing feature that's currently in the beta at the moment. So can you talk us through your experience with editing using our beta feature?
I feel very confident to tell you that there was no editing involved at all. At all. So I pretty much had the videos and reviewed that the content was good, that they were not breaching like client confidentiality or anything like that. Ahead of time, I sent a sample video to David, and he just slapped it on the software, and then it literally just came across exactly like we do our videos, like with the bars and the lines and the text, and like everything was exactly the same. I did not have to touch anything to edit. 0.
I love this. And can we just repeat that? 0 editing, people. Like I myself, I do a lot of videos as well, and I know that the editing part can be quite time consuming. So it is in beta at the moment, and we're hoping to release that out to all of our customers to do more testing. But I'm so glad that you had such a great experience with that feature, and that it came out exactly as you would had you edited it. So great feedback. Thank you so much for that.
That was good.
And then, sorry.
No, so good. It was a great experience.
Yep. Amazing. And lastly, Poncho, what are some of the metrics that you're looking to improve using VideoMyJob once you actually do go live with Story Feed with all your employee stories for graduates? What can you talk us through some of your key strategy and what you're planning to do within that space?
Totally. So because this is a pilot that's going on Grad Connection, right? So that's where most of the graduates look for jobs and interns. So these like Grad Connection is one of the biggest in the country, really. And sometimes some of the metrics that we get from them is the amount of time that people spend on our profile. And look, putting a profile together takes a little bit of time, right? So you have to get some new like testimonials and stories and like describing your all your programs and dates and all of that stuff. But sometimes the amount of time that students spend on the profile is very limited. And I expect this to change because now there are videos that they can watch and they can see our people talking about what their actual experience has been like. They talk about the projects that they're working on. They even give advice to people on to how to succeed about like in the process at Deloitte. So I'm expecting to see some of these numbers to increase for them to spend a little bit more time on our profile to really get acquainted with who we are, right? At the same time, this will increase engagement. Like if they feel that the brand is a little bit more genuine and not everything out there is like super curated and they're just seeing a graduate recording a video from the comfort of their own home, that's a lot more relatable. So I think engagement will probably go up as well.
I love this. And just for context for our listeners, because, even though I've not been fully involved in the project, I've definitely been sort of watching in the background and seeing your guys' success. And I mean, as we said before, you guys got 102 videos in 4 days. But just to give our listeners context in terms of, you put out questions and graduates were either filming from home or in the office, and they were just answering authentically about their experiences, Poncho. And some of the questions, can you talk us through some of the questions that they had to answer on the day or when you were going through that process?
Yeah, absolutely. So we sent them something similar to a Google form, where they have to answer their questions, right? And so the process is like this: we send them that form. The questions that we ask are like, why did you choose Deloitte? What is something that you're interested about, like that's interesting about your job or a project that you worked on? What does coaching look like or mentoring look like? What is the growth side of things here? Like all these different things that graduates are interested in. Once we choose those answers, we allocate. So for example, let's say that person X had a really good answer for project. So I assign that question to person X. And then, because you guys have like a scripting tool that works through AI as well, and that created the script for them to follow. So they don't even have to think about what they're going to say. The system does everything for them. It's so easy.
Amazing. I love that. And so our systems are helping them write these scripts, right? They then answering or they talking about the experience on video, and graduates are then able to come in and see that and see these authentic employee stories from graduates about the experience with Deloitte. I love that. I love that. And then 102 of them as well. I mean, that is
Yeah, so good.
incredible feat. That is so great. I just love this story, Poncho.
Yeah,
Yeah,
imagine it took me
fantastic.
just to go through all of the end products. So once all the videos were like with the brand and everything, it took me maybe like 10 hours to go through all of them and vet them and like really say, cool, it's all done. Imagine if I had to go to Perth to record a video. That would only cover the amount of time that it would take me to go from here to there and back, you know? Like, and then in that time I did Adelaide, Perth, Brisbane, Sydney, Western Sydney, like Canberra. Like, yeah, everything was done. So it was pretty good.
I love it. So efficient as well. Yeah. So great.
Hmm.
And look, Poncho, I know this is only the beginning of your journey because you've only joined us as a customer in the last couple months, really. You've hit the ground running, got all of these videos in your arsenal, and you guys are going to be going live with everything soon. So I would love to get you back in the next couple months to see how that all goes, and we can sort of chat through some of the key results and some of your successes that you've gotten as part of this. So we'll definitely get you back because I'm sure our listeners would love to hear how it's all gone.
Yeah, perfect. Absolutely. I would love that.
Fantastic. Look, thank you so much for your time, Poncho. As I said, I've loved hearing about your story, and thank you so much for sharing that with us today.
No, thank you. My pleasure.
Thanks so much for listening to today's episode. If you want to learn more about activating your employer brand strategy and EVP, then check out podcast.videomyjob.com for a library of industry perspectives and how-tos. Now, if you're ready to level up your activation strategy, then you need an employee story video platform, and that's what we do. Go to VideoMyJob.com/demo to book a walkthrough with one of our video specialists, or click on the pricing page to learn about our new 90-day pilot program. Lastly, we would love for you to help us spread the word about the VMJ Pod to attract new experts and practitioners to share their activation strategies. So please take a screenshot of wherever you're listening and post it on LinkedIn. Don't forget to tag us, as we're so grateful when you do that.